Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to our free masterclass on receiving. I'm so grateful that we're all here together, whether we're live or whether it is on recording afterwards. I just acknowledge all of you and the ones who are here live. I know some of you have, it's very early in the morning for some of you, so I really acknowledge that you are here today with me. So before we start, I would like to do an acknowledgement to country, which is really important for me to recognize the traditional owners of the land. So the place where I am the host of this masterclass and where I work and stay spans the lands of the Wadawong people of the Kulin Nations. I acknowledge them as the traditional owners and protectors of this place. I also pay my deepest respects to their elders, past, present, and future, who continue on this path. I also pay my respects to the traditional owners of all the lands, of all of you who are listening in as well, and who are holding this space for all of us at the moment. So it's a little thing I like to do here. Okay, so in terms of the masterclass, let's start. So if you guys could, those are on board to tell me, where you're from, and in the chat, and what drew you to this masterclass. That would be really great to have a little bit of a thing to get us all going. So while I start up the I've got some slides. Ooh, I'm really excited. Where is it? Okay, present. Okay, I think I've got everything. Sorry, I'm just okay. So, let's try this. Okay, so yes, we have various people from all over the world. So nice to have all of you here. And why here? What is receiving to you? What does that mean to you? What has been in your life so far that what has receiving meant to you at this point in time? So if you like to put that in the chat, that would be also great, but also something to think about if you don't want to put that in the chat as well, because we'll go through what that really means for all of us. So I'm going to bring up my slides. Yeah, so again, where you're from, and it'd be great to see which countries you're from. Okay, that's great. Fantastic. So oops. So first I would like to start on who am I. So as you all know, my name is Vanessa, and I was a scientist for 25 years working in the malaria drug discovery field. And all I knew in life as a little girl and as from an Asian culture background on achieving. And each time I achieved something, I would actually grasp for more because I didn't actually understand the concept of being able to be grateful for what I've got, and also to feel into the joys of the achievement that I got, and also to feel into that, to celebrate who I am and to acknowledge who I am. So in spite of all the fantastic little achievements that I I got, and some of them was pretty incredible, with setting up the first insect tree in Australia, I just felt unfulfilled. Also, because I felt unfulfilled, I kept trying, sort of searching for more. And as I was searching for more, I ended up in burnout because I did not know how to rest, how to step back, how to regulate my nervous system, such that I I basically burnt out. And I also ended up really taking for granted every single little thing around me, such that all my health and everything started to collapse. And as a result of that, um of that whole of that whole experience, I think, we like to look at things as being a problem, but I don't think it's a problem. I think it was a journey I needed to be on. And we often talk about burnout as a way to, your old self is burnt out, is burning away so that something new can rise. So when I realized that I wasn't feeling into what I needed to feel into and to really receive, everything I created started to kind of crumble. We talk about manifestation and trying to manifest things in our lives. We're very powerful beings, but part of what doesn't serve us is when we actually don't aren't able to then receive it in a manner. And so I started to understand what receiving was to me. First, I thought it was surrender. And then, I went through all the manifestation classes. I realized my nervous system was burned out. All these incredible tools and teachers that kept coming to me and kept landing in my lap when I set that intention. And then I realized that one thing that I was missing, even though I kept studying more and trying to get into the depths of what it is that I was completely missing in my life, I realized that it was a combination of things. And that whole combination has turned out to be what I consider as my definition of receiving. And we'll go through in our masterclass, what is that? What is receiving? And we'll also go through receiving in your intention, receiving in your body, receiving the tools that you will, little tools you'll get for me today, receiving the breath, because the breath is really a projection, a reflection on how we live our lives, is also a way to start accepting, start receiving into our bodies and embody what we really need in our lives. And then receiving day play. So we'll go through all of these today in our masterclass, and I've got something really exciting to share with you at the end. So why receiving? Now I've got somewhere in the chat, so I'm just going to have a quick look. Oh yes, hi Nadini, you're in Mumbai, and you're here because you're having to receive the graciousness of my friend who's hosting me. It has been difficult, but I need this at this point in my life. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Nadini. And yes, Steph's in Western Australia and a few other people. Fantastic. Thanks, guys. So what is receiving? So receiving, to me, when I started to really dissect what it meant, to me, receiving is listening. Listening to what you really want. Feeling into that vision, into that into that wanting, and into that creating of what you want, feeling into how it would feel when you've done it, so that you are actually present in your body, embracing that and taking action, surrendering, pivoting if necessary, to see what really works for you. Because sometimes you set a goal, you set a vision for your life, and then things aren't quite working out. But if you don't perceive and sense what's happening around you as to why isn't it working, what is it going against my values, is it going against my body, which is the real indicator of what, of helping you to receive, then you can manifest and try and create all you want, but you keep butting yourself against a brick wall. So receiving is all about that full sensory experience of putting what you want into your reality and into your life. And receiving is to see what messages are coming from your body. So why is my body reacting a certain way? Why am I is it showing me that what I'm doing is correct? Is it showing me that fears are coming through? this is some of the parts of receiving. Now, people say, well, it's gratitude, right? It is, but it isn't. Gratitude is an incredibly powerful tool. It's one of the top emotions that we will feel in the scales of emotions. And gratitude opens up a whole lot of physiology and incredible things for us in our lives. And there's a whole lot of study on gratitude, which we can go into for hours and hours. Gratitude has been an incredible tool for a lot of people and continues to be so. Well, what I'm talking about receiving is that sense of gratitude that is incorporated into your being, into your feeling, into your actions. That as you are receiving into that space of what you want and what you're creating, you're feeling gratitude at the same time. So I like to I've said this to a few of my clients, and once I said that, breathwork, breathing is really a form of receiving. Why? Because as we breathe air in, if our bodies do not receive that air, we won't be able to live. We won't be able to carry on because we're not receiving the air. So if our lungs are receiving the air and there's an air exchange, that's how we live. But if we're breathing in the air and we're just grateful for the air but not receiving the air, that's no point, right? So receiving is deeper, a deeper form of gratitude. Gratitude is an incredibly deep part of receiving. Also, receiving is also a balance. It's also a balance between giving and receiving. A lot of us are taught, to give all the time, to give to other people, and to make yourself feel happy, give to other people. That is a really beautiful way of living. But also, I found that for me, I was giving way too much. I was giving because I had no concept of receiving. I was giving because it made me feel better. But I was giving because that linked my self-worth to that. That was how I saw my self-worth. But I found it hard to receive. Because when people gave me a compliment or when good things came my way, I just went, oh yeah, it's done, and brushed it off. And when you don't receive, there's an imbalance between giving and receiving. And that's when, people pleasing, perfectionism, that's how burnout occurs. And so these are the things that how I defined receiving to myself. And as I did, I started to look into tools of how I can receive even better. So, okay, I'm just trying to, whoops. Oh, okay. So, let's get this interactive workshop. So I would love you to really, reflect on this. And if you'd like to share this with me, even in the comments, if you're on the Facebook group, or which I'll look at later, or even now on the chat. My mind went blank. And this will also be a replay on YouTube. So, share with me, if you could, what have you tried to create and it hasn't worked? What have you tried to bring into your world and it hasn't worked? So for me, for a long time, what I tried to create and what I wanted to bring into my world was the ability to, after I quit my job from science due to burnout, I then, started this business of coaching and mentoring women, which has been fantastic. But then a part of me wanted to go back into science as well, because that's really what my first love was. And I tried to, apply for some science jobs that are part-time. And each time I did, something always got in the way. I just it's just, I was that close to getting the job and then never got the job. And I was like, what in the world is happening? So that was a recent thing that I have tried to create and it hasn't worked. So what is the one thing that you've tried to create? What is the one thing you tried so hard? And by trying, it's either burnt you out or it just falls flat in his face. And you're just going, what in the world is happening around here? And if you try to create that, what usually happens is some form of self-sabotage happening. Is it some form of, you're almost quite there and then you sort of kind of just about to do something and then towards your dream and then you go, no, I can't do that. It's just not going to work. I'm too people say it's just not going to work. It's just not me. Or someone says something to you and you just and you feel like it's a judgment towards you and you go, well, oh, okay, what I was going to do, well, maybe not, because someone said that I wasn't doing the right thing. Those sorts of feelings that come into your body. And why do you think those things happen? So just, reflect that. I'll just give you a minute or so just to reflect on that. I'll check the chat. Thank you, Nadine, for sharing. You've tried to create a successful channel and yeah, it's moving slowly. When I get in my way because I don't stick to my schedule or vision for each video. And why is that, do you think? What's coming up for you? So reflect on that for a minute or so, and I'll just make sure I've got everything. So when you think about, what you've tried to create in the past, how does that feel in your body? Do you feel like you're shutting yourself out? Do you feel nothing? Or what part of your body is going into a reaction? So what we're going to do is now a body scan. And one of the important elements of receiving is actually understanding what your body is telling you. Part of what was happening for me was while I was trying to create what I did, I started to get into my head. So all of us are bags of emotion and experiences that we contain in our bodies. So our whole body remembers and our mind remembers what has happened to us in the past. And it all goes into our whole nervous system. And if we're not taught how to deal with that, those experiences and those emotions in a way that allows us to balance out our energies, energetic system, to really embody that in our bodies, what happens is that we store it. And then at some point, some trigger, like for instance, you want to start up your business or you want to apply for a new job, and then you remember something in your body just triggers you. And that trigger is often like a feeling, a tightness, a constriction, frustration, anger. All those emotions come out from you. And a lot of it's self-worth, judgment. It all comes out because at the back of our minds, in our amygdala and the hippocampus system, it's remembering something that happened. And when we remembered, it provoked an emotion in us. And then the emotion now comes out when we try and create something in our lives. And so Nadine says, I'm thinking that maybe because I want YouTube to be a joyous activity, but I usually end up losing sleep, overworking to complete each video. Yeah. Perhaps if then I'm not receiving results consistently in a balanced way too. So these are the so these are the sort of the self-judgment, the self-sabotage things that happen to us, that we do to ourselves, because we are, there's a deep fear within us. Something's coming up within us that is um not allowing us then to move to the level of defining what our vision is and actually receiving that vision in a way that's balanced for us. Yeah, you're right. So our nervous system is very, very unbalanced, because we're constantly looking over our shoulder going, am I right? Am I right? Am I doing things right? I don't know if any of you would would relate to that. And one of the biggest things I was feeling was a huge resistance every time I applied for a particular science position that I thought was really cool. But then my whole body go, oh no, you burnt out in the last, your last position. Who's to say you're going to like it? This, what are you going to do? All this stuff. So a lot of resistance. And it's a result. One of the self-sabotage things that I did was actually not to write my CVs properly, not to write my cover letter properly, not to respond to the job ads properly. And when I did get an interview, I'll go in there and really, just just not answer the questions properly. So you can see my whole system was like, I got this opportunity and I'm not receiving, I'm pushing it away, because something in the back of my mind was going, yeah, okay. And what what we're going to do now is enough of my talking. We're going to go into a little body scan here. I'm just going to go through what it feels like in our body. And then we're going to go through a couple of exercises where we're going to have a little vision that I would like to in sort of invite you to have. And then we're going to try and feel that in our body as well. And how does that feel in your body? Okay, whether your body is giving you resistance or not. There's no right or wrong in this. Is just a play and an experiment of our what we're here for, what our purpose is here for, and also to understand where we would like to sit in the world. But if we're pushing away what our body is telling us, we're pushing away one of our most innate sense of intelligence. And we always think we need to think through the mind, but actually we are an incredible system where everything is interlinked through our nervous system, through what we call our chakra system, which is all our nerve plexus all up our body, communicating to our body what we need in order to fulfill what our soul's desire is and what our purpose is. So I invite you to just close your eyes and let's just scan from the top of your body all the way down. So this is going to be a reference point now. Okay. So as a scientist, I like to go base zero. So what is our starting point? So let's see what our starting point is. We just put your attention from the top of your head. Just imagine that this white light, if you want. But just put that intention over the top of your head and then slowly come down your whole body system, your face, your ears, your neck, your shoulders. See, when I say that, I feel some tension in my shoulders, arms, all the way down your body, your stomach, your heart, chest. Just bring that all down, all the way to your pelvis, and then to your feet. And now just thinking of the what you've tried to create and why hasn't it worked. Not why hasn't it, that it hasn't worked, that one thing. See where in your body that feeling lies around that intention. Where is the biggest resistance, constriction that comes up? Or does your body feel nothing? There's no right or wrong in this. We just want that baseline now for what was the current thing that wasn't quite working for you and why you're here. Okay, so let's come back to the room. How's your body feeling at the moment? What has come through for you? Did you feel anything? Did you not? Check in the comments. It would be great to have a reflection with everyone here. And again, if you're on Facebook and on YouTube too, just check your comments. It's all cool. I'll come back to them as soon as I can. Yeah. So when I thought about that job that jobs that I've applied for in science and didn't get them, I'm getting stuck here. Tension in my legs and tightness in my stomach. Fantastic. Thank you, Nadini. Really, really good to understand that. For me, it's here. And then the other thing that happens for me is I feel really tense and blank here because I want to go into overthinking then. That's what happens. Okay. Yeah. Really good to understand this. Now, there's no right or wrong. All of this is awareness, and this is all part of the system and toolbox that I'll be teaching you. This is awareness of your body right now. So what we're going to do now is go through the next step, which is now that you have had this awareness in your body, can you receive all that tension, all that stress, all that thing into your body right now? Can you receive it? Receive it as in, I'm grateful for it. Receive it in all its denseness, or in all its nothingness, or all in all its lightness. Can you now just close your eyes and just receive that? Receive it as you would embrace a child that's being naughty or being good or just standing there doing nothing. Can you embrace that child? Do you find it easy or do you find it hard? Just think about that. So that's the part of receiving that we all forget. That's the first part. Forgiveness. Receiving ourselves for who we are right now. Being grateful is part of that. But you can be grateful and brush it away. But you can receive with your heart. You might find it a little bit challenging, so that's okay. But that's a concept I like to put in your head. And if you can see if you can do that every single day, just in little small moments where you just receive yourself for who you are. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Doesn't matter if it's something mundane or something big or something really heavy, like you're really angry with someone. Can you bring that in? All right. So let's go on to the next one. Now, I invite you at this point in time to set, it could be the same intention. It could be set a new one, just a small one. Maybe, my intention or my vision is to have more peace and joy in my life. My intention is to be more forgiving to myself. My intention is to start doing more exercise. I invite you to just think of that as Nadine said, I'm wanting to have more intention around receiving my friend who is hosting you at the moment, which is beautiful. You could set that in. Now, when you set that, think about how that feels in your body now. Do the same body scan, and you could even talk about speak to yourself about that intention or write it down. And then as you do that body scan again right now. Close your eyes and just see how that intention sits in you. I'll give you a minute. These are little exercises. You're in a safe space to try. Little experiments. When you think of that new intention, or maybe bringing that old intention back. Maybe that old intention was a little bit too big for the moment. Just, you could have something small. And yeah, if you I invite you to share it in the various chats if you can. I think sometimes writing it down and sharing it is probably the most important part. All my things about all of this is really about finding your voice and receiving. And sometimes we do have to articulate and send it out to the world. Hey, while you're doing that, I have looking for my slides. So how does that feel? Is it challenging? Okay, so the next thing I'd like to, here we go. When I thought receiving the sensation intention, they disappeared, switched. When I think of my big intentions over the next week, my heart started to race and I became aware of my breath. Thank you, Nadine. So do you think you might need a different sort of intention, or are you happy to stick with this one? If it's a little bit too much at the moment, you can bring it down to a little bit, because all we're doing here is really starting that process of receiving, understanding how that would work for you. And so now that you've set the intention, how are you going to make it more joyful? I think we want to do things everything at once. I want it all. I know. I do that all the time. But could we chunk it down and make it a small thing? Let's see, because this is all about a little experiment that we're doing at the moment with ourselves. Because as with little experiments in science, we like to do what we call pilot experiments, where we do it small, in a small scale, and then we understand, and we can pivot, and we can receive, and we can make adjustments to what we need in the process. So I'm kind of like moving some science into here as well. So that's why I said in my thing, this is Vanessa's way. So okay, So now that you set your intention, and I'm going to bring you into a little visualization exercise. Now, sometimes when we look at ourselves and we go to receive, we don't actually know what we want to receive. Like, we set this intention and we just go, okay, we'll set that and we'll go. But then, are we setting that intention because we truly want to? When we do something, when we do anything in the world, we do it because we want to have a feeling at the end of it. We want to feel peace. We want to feel satisfied. We want to feel inspired. We want to feel successful. We want to feel love. We want to feel joy. You don't just do something because you can do it. You actually want to feel something in the end. It's to create an experience for yourself. That's how we are as human beings. So, like, when we go traveling, we go traveling not because we because we can or we can, but we go traveling because we want to experience something different, a new culture, a new experience, new food, new nature, all this sort of stuff. So when we set an intention for ourselves and a goal, or however you want to put it, doesn't matter. We actually do it because we want a certain feeling. Now, part of the receiving is to be able to embody that feeling, be able to feel that feeling. Because when we finish and when we achieve what we want to do, or we achieve our vision, if we don't know what we want to feel, or we think, oh yeah, we want to feel joy, but we don't know what joy actually feels in our body, we won't even have a clue on how to receive. Absolutely. It will just pass us by. And it will be really hard. We think when we achieve something, we're going to feel that way. No, we actually have to train our bodies to feel that way. So I invite you to understand now, what sort of feeling do you want to do? Do you want to feel after your intention has come into being, or is being in being, and you see it happening? Is it joy? Is it love? Is it peace, satisfaction? Most of us, for me, I thought it was going to be, like joy. And then I found out that actually there was a deeper feeling for me. And what did joy mean to me? So I kind of like picked it out, and I found out that my what I really wanted to feel was peace and satisfaction in my life. And most of us would be around these four, which I just said: peace, satisfaction, inspired, successful, whatever that means for you. And of course, love, being loved. I think that's the basic human need. But in terms of feeling, how would it feel to you, and what would that feel in your body? So just 30 seconds to sort of first feeling you want to feel. Don't overthink it. We all go into our brains quite a bit. Yep. This is just a pilot, so you don't have to get it right. Okay. So now I'm going to guide you through a quick experiential exercise, which is to your vision. So you have your vision in front of you right now. And I invite you to, let's envision this together, because we're going to employ in sort of very quickly what that would feel like. So what we're going to do now is we're building onto when we go into the breath work, because then we're going to bring in that vision, that feeling, and all this stuff into the breath work, which should be really fun. So just very quickly now, imagine there's a big TV screen in front of you, like massive. If you're across this whole room, like you're in this massive theater. And have, with your eyes open for the moment, can you design a movie around your vision? What would it look like? How would it feel like? Like, some people go, oh yeah, we know this. You do, and just trust me on this when we go into the breath work. So that's why I said, start small, big ones, because once you get used to it, you get bigger and bigger. So when I had the vision of being back in science, what I did was I envisioned what I would love in science, like having multiple different projects, people that I love working with, or really into teamwork, or really into, much like my old job, but it's slightly different. And really flexibility in the work, but yet this incredible passion to help human beings in health, and just a beautiful work culture, something that's not quite in academia, but so I envisaged all this in my mind movie. We can go deeper and deeper into this, but it's just a quick one. So I envisaged all that and saw myself doing that. And when I saw that, I started to feel really satisfied and at peace because I was finally working with people and in something that I really want to do in a slightly different manner. But I also felt satisfied, really satisfied that I was helping humanity in a different way, in a different type of science. But also, and one of the key things was also for me was that I had enough time to then pursue mentoring and coaching and doing workshops like these. So so I just envisaged all that, and I felt it in my voice. So just imagine it as this big screen. You're seeing it, it's in full color, and it's like a movie of your world. So just a minute or so on that. Okay. How can you actually, when you see that movie, can you really feel those? Can you sort of, can you smell the smells? So sometimes we can't envision it as well, but sometimes some of us feel like you can smell like the area that you be in, how like for me, I could smell like being in a lab again. I could hear what people were talking. I could feel like I could touch certain pieces of equipment, and also just, and also hanging out with people, how that felt. So all these are really important parts of what we're going to do next. All part of receiving, because now you're receiving what you want in most of your senses. Now we're going to bring it into the breath. And when we do, I have to do a do-si-do of my connections. So keep going with that, and I will start plugging myself in for our next section. How are you going so far, people? All right. Let's see if I can do this without. Have to unplug this. Okay. I think you can hear me. Cool. So let's go into some breath work. Now, part of why we can't really receive is because we are constantly in fear. As I said, our nervous system is not balanced enough to be able to allow the emotions of these higher emotions of peace and satisfaction into our lives. And that's true. Like, I was completely wired for a long, long time. It's because when I started to do breathwork, I started to do all the nervous system regulation and everything around that I ended up actually being able to receive a lot more, because I wasn't when you're in a hyper state, vigilant state, you tend to look at things like this. This is just the way it is. But then as you calm your nervous system down, your prefrontal cortex and everything starts to open up to whatever is around you, and you can start really assimilating all the the signals around you, and also actually help you to be more present in your body, present in your surroundings, and all that's part of receiving and surrendering. So the breath is a really important one to help us to regulate that nervous system, but also it helps us to practice the body for receiving consciously. So as I said to you, the breath is a really good example of receiving, because if we just felt gratitude for the breath and not if we were even able to stop ourselves from letting the oxygen and carbon dioxide do that exchange in our bodies consciously, then we would die. But our bodies won't do that. So the breath is a reminder that giving breath and receiving breath is really important. It also helps to balance that nervous system out. So the breath that we're going to do today is a kind of a between a conscious connected breath and the resonance or heart breath, as I call it. And what this is 5 counts in and 5 counts out. And you can do that all through the mouth or all through the nose. Okay. And I'll play a music that you will hear the dings and the dongs to help you really time your breath. So breathing in for 5 and out for 5. And there's no stopping in between the inhale and exhale, just a continuous breath. And these 5 counts is about, it ends up being 6 breaths a minute. And so what happens is that has been shown by the HeartMath Institute and a lot of different studies that really syncs everything, our nervous system, our blood flow, our heart rate, and into also syncing both the heart and the mind. And there's a lot of studies being shown with this breath. So we'll be doing both of them, just conscious connected breath in that rhythm. And I'll just play a very, very light track at the back. And as we're doing that, we're going to sink into the breath. We're going to feel what the body feels like as we're breathing. And we're going to receive through the breath. It's going to be it'll be about 15 minutes. And then we're going to bring in that vision of what you had and what it feels like, and feels like to receive that vision. So there's a reason for this, where a lot of us have a lot of resistance around it. Some of you might be listening to this and going, "Oh, what's she on about? It's all this," but it's all this intention thing. I came here to be able to understand what receiving is all about. You can't receive until you actually understand what the exercise process is. So that's why we're doing this. So it's a very short one. There's a lot more things that I could touch on, but I'm not going to do that because we're short of time. So let's do this. So I invite you to sit up or lie down, as long as you don't fall asleep. If you're lying down, just make sure that your airway is open. And don't put a pillow. Lie down flat, because we want your airways open. So either breathing all through the nose or all through the mouth. Listen to your body. This is the best way. Receive that breath. So I invite you to go into that. I'm going to share sound. Yep. Okay. And we're going to start. So breathing in through the nose or through the mouth. In and out. Notice how your body is reacting to the breath. It might not want to be with the breath. It might want to Whatever it is at the moment, it's perfect. Just embrace it, receive it. This is your exercise in receiving. Exercise in receiving how your body's dealing with the breath. It's not used to receiving, it will send really funny thoughts through you. Your mind might be racing, and it's okay too. And as you're breathing, allow your breath to get deeper and deeper. As you're building your resilience in the breath, you're also building your resilience in the container in which you hold your desires, your ability to receive, ability to pivot. Just be curious as to what, any resistance that's coming up. What do you need to let go of right now? What in your body is feeling really tense? Can you bring that breath in to that spot? No need to fix. Just receive. Receive with compassion and curiosity. Each breath in is a receiving, and each breath out is a giving. Balance. Telling your body it's safe to receive and it's safe to give. Breathing in and breathing out, one continuous breath, either through the nose or either all through the mouth. Receiving who you are right now, allowing, releasing. Now as you're going through the breath, receiving and giving, I invite you to, with your eyes closed, bring that vision that you had initially of your intention.
up in front of you, like a big TV screen. Could not necessarily be a big movie if you're not that way inclined, but can you smell, feel, and hear what's going on? Keep breathing. Receive that. See what it feels like. If anything is coming up for you, be curious as to what's happening. Seeing what's in your body, what your body's telling you. And I invite you to feel what that would feel like. What does your vision feel like? Is it satisfaction? Is it peace? Is it joy? When you bring that into your body, and if you can't bring that into your body right now, that's okay. Just bring it into your breath. Doing so well. Keep breathing. 5 counts in, 5 counts out, following the bell. And slowly finish what it feels like, finish what it looks like. Can you receive it with your breath? Few breaths more. Almost there. And now slowly coming back to your nose breath. To your normal breathing. Just sit in silence for the moment. Receive what your body feels like right now. Just receive. Don't need to say anything, judge, even if your mind is going. Just pay attention to your body. What's it telling you? Receive. And in this moment of silence, as you receive, I want to ask yourself, Who do I need to become to be this vision? What's the one thing I need to do or know right now? Just in this silence.
Okay, just coming back to the room now. How does that feel for you? Check in the chat, any comments, any reflections. And as you do, we'll just move along to the next thing, which is a quick toolbox on how how I like to go into receiving, and how do I face any resistances that come up. So let me just share screen again. So here we have the access system, which I came up for myself. So this is something I use all the time and I go through with my clients all the time. So it's really simple. It's awareness. So when we first started, we were aware of what was happening in our bodies, what the baseline was. Now that you've done some breath work, you'll see a different sort of baseline as well. So it's an awareness where you are, what's been happening for you, where you're starting from, really. And then we go into it with curiosity. What's happened? Why is it happening? And after that, we go into compassion, where we don't judge, we just like receive what it is at that point in time. You don't need to go into any trauma or anything like that. That's not what we were here about, not what we're going to do today. But it's more of compassion, feeling no judgment, not fixing. And then we went into what we call embodiment, where, we're aware of what we want, what curiosity, what comes up, and compassionate. And then we embody it all by visioning, by breath work, by doing that, by regulating our nervous system, because then we can weed out what is really fear, what is whether it's really what we want in our body, whether our body is saying no, yes, or is it because of our conditioning. And then we give it some space to let it sit in our bodies for a bit, to hear what we need to hear from our bodies, whether it's the right thing or the wrong thing. And then after that, it is a surrender process of letting it happen in its own time. And so all this access system is really a form of receiving. So just coming back to where I was before, that you know, when I realized all of this, I started to do this. And then one day in the quiet, when I was sitting down in the face of surrender and space, it's a few months down the track, I had this little voice in me that said, you know, go and look in the job ad website. And I did. And lo and behold, exactly the right job came up. And I applied for it. And because I knew what I wanted to feel, I knew that it was the right thing because all my whole body said yes. I really did a phenomenal job, I must say, on the CV and the interview. And I got the job straight away. And it's everything that I put it out to be. You know, great team, you know, looking at drug discovery and vaccine development. And I'm, you know, working only 1 or 2 days a week. So that allows me now to also help other women receive Find Your Voice. And through this whole process, you know, as I was waiting for that job to happen, what happened was my whole nervous system went, oh, you're not going to get the job, you know, all that sort of stuff. Oh, you know, and the period of when I got the interview to the job offer, it was, you know, a week or so. And you know, my whole system was, you know, almost like self-sabotaging myself by, you know, do I call them on and say no, all that sort of stuff, you know. And then I realized, no, I'm not receiving again. I'm not receiving the whole journey of this. So every day I was really really employing the access system every day, really going into how would it feel. I've got, you know, how would it feel if I had something that, you know, the job that I really wanted to. And every day I trained myself to feel that peace and satisfaction every single time I did something, or, you know, I'm feeling peace and satisfaction here. So every like hour on the hour, feel gratitude, peace, and satisfaction, just to train my body on how that feels. Even in the surf, when I go out, it's like every stroke going, oh yes. And so every stroke, one day I was out surfing, and every stroke I did, I just went, I'm going to really receive everything that comes to me, good or bad, because I'm expanding my container. And lo and behold, 6 dolphins turned up and said, huh? And then that was when I got the call to do this masterclass. Usually people kind of say why they did this in the beginning of the masterclass. I kind of did it at the end because I'm just bringing you through my train of thought as I like to do as a scientist. So that's kind of how I, you know, do stuff. Anyway, it's all Vanessa's way. So so that's the access system. And if you have any you know, questions or anything like that, and so what I would like to really introduce now is in the next few minutes before we go into any questions and answers, I want to share with you guys this really exciting thing, which I just been sitting on this for a while. Actually, for about 12 months. And it really never came I knew roughly what I wanted to do, but I never quite figured it out until then, until I was out with the dolphins. And it came to me that, you know, what I'm sharing with you now is a very tip of the iceberg of the toolboxes that I've come up with. There's a whole lot more into this. I think we could spend decades and lifetimes, but we're not going to do this because I just feel that, you know, the first thing that I would love to share with all of you and hang out as a community would be this 3-month embrace, which is a 3-month immersion with me and a group of incredible women who will be joining to receive your full potential. And a lot of us have all this potential locked up inside of us. We just don't know how to access it, or there's a lot of fear. So it starts, the first thing that we'll do is on the 13th of December, we'll have a opening party. And then after that, we'll start in mid-January and then go to the 20th of March. So this is what it, oops. There you go. So what is it? So elements of embrace is it it is something to really help everyone who joins in to embrace your vision, embrace your future self, expand your receiving container, embrace your body wisdom and nervous system, embrace your resistance, your inner child, your radical gratitude and forgiveness, embracing play, which a lot of us don't actually do very much, do we? I play a lot, but I didn't actually embrace it as something that was would help me in the receiving game, embracing boundaries, embracing the whole you. And why is it important? Because it is why did I choose embrace? Because it's almost like a discovering, the welcoming um of what something is, as is, integrating in life with love, acceptance, recognition, and it's all part of receiving. So receiving is kind of like feeling into it, and then embracing is really embracing all of it, just really bringing your hands around it. So that's kind of what I really had envisioned for it. And it's because we often we just don't know where to go with a lot of what we would like to do in our lives, and that's a lot because of resistance. And but also you need someone to it's always nice, and I always found that it was always nice to have that lived experience with someone, and to hold your hand, to be able to guide you through the processes, to be able to share with you the toolbox. But also what's important about embracing and receiving is also the community that comes with it. So we can't embrace and receive ourselves kind of, it's good to a point, but then our whole purpose as a person is to be part of a community. And a lot of us want to serve, and to serve is we have to learn how to receive, because if we don't learn how to receive, we do not have that balance. And so what's in immersion? It's 10 by 1.5 hour live sessions with me on Zoom, plus you get the recordings and the transcripts, and the big thing is about having a community, or a small group community, to learn and support each other, and also to do this visioning process together through listening, sharing. And this is really important, because as you share and you find your voice in how to articulate what you want, what you need, this is really important, because a lot of us has been shut down to articulate all that to others when we were quite young. It's also as an access to me one via Telegram or Messenger, depending on you. And then there's 10 guided breathwork sessions together with those live sessions. We'll give you a lot of nervous system regulation tools. So we'll look at all in about different vagal theory systems and all that sort of stuff. Breathwork, and qigong, some movement exercise that's really important, that I found really important to get me out of my mind, thoughts only, but to integrate the heart-brain connection. I will also do a recorded guided walking meditation for all of you, so that it's something we can practice together, visioning into and receiving into our lives. Really important to incorporate that movement, that energy into our life. And it's a small group, so this will be about a maximum of 10, so very, very small. And we'll do this for so how would you feel at the end? And I sat down and listened and thought about this, and I just like, when I knew how to receive, when I started to then, when I got my job, when I started to then bring in other things that I started to do regarding this visioning process, even some financial stuff that really came in so beautifully. And also long story with my dog as well, fantastic. So all that receiving was just, I'm just feeling so peaceful and satisfied right now, and it is really what I wanted to feel, and I want to share this with you. So empowered to step into the new chapter of your life, like let the last bits be a journey and a learning process with a sense of personal power and confidence. Connected, so meaningful connections with people on the same journey. and also feeling transformed, because by learning how to receive and embracing life, you there will be a change in how you move in the world, how you move with your relationships, how you be more resilient over times when you trying something new, and things are a little bit scary. This is this whole embrace thing for 3 months was actually also to help you receive with joy and ease, but also you bring us an intention into this program, into this immersion. And what we'll do is we'll concentrate on that with you and help you to bring that into life, to bring that courage into your life, again, to embrace it, to receive it. And it's nothing like having someone in a community to really hold your hand, be a sounding board for that. That's what we're all missing in this world, to be honest, and that's what really holds us back. Give us that feedback. So what's the cost? Usually I kind of charge close to $800 for something like this, US. Currently I'm bringing it down to $333, so it's Aussie dollars about 508 for the 3 months. Reason why it's so low at the moment is because I am creating this program also to help women in addiction and domestic violence. So this is almost like a beta test program as well, because my big vision actually is to bring this to women who are really in society, who really need it but can't afford to access programs like this, because they're just not in the right spot financially as well. So they're the ones that need it the most. There's a group called Foundation 61. You can look them up, and they're starting a House of Hope. And so part of this will be going towards that House of Hope, and as a charitable donation, but it also helps to pay for some of my time when I go there, and I'm volunteering my services to do breath work. And also, as I develop this course, I would like to develop that with them as well. But I'll be doing that at one-on-one, going there with them and really supporting them in that process. So that's the cost of it. And if you book in early by the 10th of December, there'll be a free additional one-on-one session with me that's worth that amount of money anyway. So you're pretty much getting it for free. And part of this one-on-one session with me is really, which I'm really excited about, is that we'll delve into into a part of your human design. I'm not sure if any of you heard about it, but it just really shows you how what your unique blueprint is in how you run your life, and how you would receive, and how you would envision your life and go about your life. So we'll go through that session with me. There's the calendar link is in there. So I'm not going to just put out a website link at the moment, because what I would really like to do is have a quick chat with you, 15-20 minutes, to see what you're looking for in the program, and see whether because it's a small group of people, I would like everyone to be in the sort of the same vibe, so to speak, for want of a better word. So yeah, that's the calendar link. You will get that link through the email after this, with the recording link. So that's it for me. And so this is a receiving checklist that you will also get as part of your email. That's what we did today. It's to really sort of, as part of this, to some of the toolboxes that we did today. Yeah. So, writing your vision, your daily body scan as you get up from bed. See how you're feeling, 3 times a day, feel into your vision and receive it in that moment. So you're really training your body. And then regulate your nervous system. You can do that breath work that we did before. And also, bringing that access system into helping you to do and receive in the everyday. So that's the receiving checklist, which I'll give you guys. And yeah, we'll quickly go into any questions or any coaching that you would love to have. So I just stop sharing. So yeah, if I realize we're a little bit look very close to our time finishing. So if you would want to pop off now, please do. But if you would like to ask any questions and come online, that would be great as well. So yeah, just opening up at the moment for any questions. Oh, thank you, Nadini. You're welcome. This was wonderful. Have a lot to process. Yeah, reach out if you need some help. Really great. And also just a little plug, Nadini, and I will put that in our newsletter, that she's done a beautiful, I don't know if you guys remember, in my newsletter we did I had a download from the indigenous indigenous women's camp, and Nandini had then, in response to that, beautiful the download as well in response to that. So she recorded it on YouTube, and so I will post that in our newsletter as well. Yeah, just to sort of show you how, as we receive wisdom, how it really rolls on to the next person and to the next person, and they receive as well the wisdom, and in their own way. So what you're doing in your life really has a ripple effect. So as we receive, we give others permission to receive too. Yeah, thank you so much. Any other questions? Thanks, Steph. No problem. Okay. Yeah, no, right. I think I'm bamboozled, everybody. Oh my God. Anyway, so time to receive, time to integrate this into your life. We can listen to everything and all the teachers and all the wonderful people that have so much wisdom. But if we don't actually use this every day, it's kind of like you're not receiving, right? Yeah, you're not integrating. So thank you guys for turning up today. I really enjoyed myself. Thanks for creating space for me to share my wisdom. And I am so grateful for all of you. And I receive all of you into my heart, whether you're watching it live or whether you're watching on replay. Let me know, and yeah, give me some feedback or email me, and let's have a chat. So don't forget about Embrace. I will send it in an email to all of you once I get the recordings up and running. All right, take care. Much love. See ya. Bye.